Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. So today I've got in 2025, this tool, it's brand new. I just registered it and updated it. It is from January of 2018. So it's over 7 years old. I fully charged the battery, but I'm going to test this guy out, use it for a bit just to see how the battery's holding up now after being 7 years old. But I often get asked by people, are the batteries replaceable? So yes, they are, and obviously there are probably legit batteries and cheaper versions, but just over $20 to $30, sort of the range on Amazon to get a battery for this. So let's get into it. First thing is getting this cover off, which, as you can see, they've made to be on there pretty good. They make these little notches here that the case has edges to fit into, and that's the hardest part, really. Then it's just 2, 4, 6 screws. Let's see if we can catch the light to look. Probably just a Phillips. Let's see. I have opened one of these before, just for curiosity. More than anything. When I first started buying these to sell them, I was getting them below retail, and I was curious if they were legit. So I think I opened up one of the earlier ones, see if I could see any signs that it wasn't the quality inside, if it's a cheap knockoff or not. And then I figured out how people are getting them so inexpensive is because Autel was giving them away free to the big suppliers when you bought quantities of sensors. So some of the suppliers give them away or give you package pricing to get them affordable and not so expensive. I also looked for a factory reset inside. There isn't one that I could find. There's a key sequence for that. I forget what it was, but I helped a client with one, turning it on and holding a button down. It does a factory reset. But anyway, so let's open her up. That's the big magnet at the end up here that activates the sensor. And there's the battery. So this is the 508 and an early version. So the early versions in 2018 came in boxes like this without a seal here. The later version, 2019 or 2020, started putting tape on the box like this one. See that seal? It's a 2021 tool. But the after 2018, I think they were all made in Vietnam. So I actually have a Wi-Fi version myself I use for my own, and I can open that up as well. But let's have a look here. So it says 3,000 milliamp hours. There's a part number, whether that's helpful or not. .10 watt hours. So this is the cable for it, There's the plug. So this is my Wi-Fi tool. I gotta grab it too. I'll open it up just to see if it's any different. That was manufactured in 2022. Looks very similar. And again, if you don't know, the only difference on the Wi-Fi function has nothing to do really with programming. It's just for updating the tool. So I'll put this one over on this side. Let's get all those screws not mixed up in case there's any difference. And slight difference in color possibly in the case, but really very, very similar. That's one. So the Wi-Fi tool can update via USB as well, PC, but the convenience of doing it via Wi-Fi is pretty nice, because then you don't have to find the right cable. Actually, you do, because I think in order to update it, it wants it plugged in, so it doesn't go through an update and completely drain the battery. But plug it into the PC, start the software. So I'll zoom out a little, see if this one looks the same inside. Did I get all 6? And this one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Wasn't coming apart easy there. Sorry about the jitteriness here. Okay, here we go. See, very much the same. 3000 milliamp hours. Same part number, 11.10 watt hours. They actually look really similar inside. That's a foam block. I don't really notice any other differences that are totally obvious here. So that's the color of the capacitor, this big guy. The boards look very similar. I actually fit around these standoffs and clip in here, so pretty well secured. Interesting. There's a bunch of pinouts there. I wonder what that's for. So I kept taking it apart because my curiosity gets the best of me. But yeah, I'll caution you a little bit. The battery is fairly secured in there, right? So to get it out, you're gonna have to do a little bit of prying, but make sure your battery's discharged. This is like a cell phone battery, the lithium polymer ones, and they're a little bit flexible. I had one on a cell phone start to smolder and smoke and catch fire, and thankfully the instructions that came with it on replacement advised to have the battery discharge below 50% to reduce the amount of energy that's stored in the battery for fire. But I'm not going to pry one out. It's a good battery, so I'm not going to damage it to get it out of there. But the interesting thing comparing these tools on the back. This is the 508, and this is the Wi-Fi. And there are really visibly no differences on the back side for side-by-side comparison, besides obviously like the color of that cap, but very much the same layout, same chips missing, except for the pins. I don't know what those pins do up here, but on the flip side, I got, well, be careful with these ribbon cables. Similar layout as well. You can see some slight differences in layout over here. This one definitely says it's a Wi-Fi version, and that just says it's a 508 version. Version 6 apparently. But yeah, you can see there's some circuitry differences here. That chip's the same. These chips are the same. The Wi-Fi is there. That one is not here. That one is not here. And a few of these might be these guys over here, but a couple are missing. So lots more chips over there. Individual, but smaller ones. But anyway, so there are some few noticeable differences besides the labeling on the board. And this actually is a hint right here, I bet you. So this is probably the Wi-Fi chip right there. This is probably the antenna for it. See on the back side of the board, that's what's missing over here. This big antenna here, this is, I'm pretty sure, for doing signals for the TPMS stuff. So it's either for programming or picking up signals, not for Wi-Fi. So I bet you that that little antenna right there on the board and that chip, because it's in that proximity, is probably for Wi-Fi. So anyway, there you have it. If you were curious, hope you enjoyed that. It gives you an indication on battery and these screens. I'm not going to pull one of the screens off, but they you can see that they do come off. There's a bunch of clips here, but I don't know how it connects. I don't really want to disturb it. It's working, so I'm going to leave it as is. But yeah, there's the battery. And this is year down here, 22. That one shows 17, but the part number's same. I'm going to zoom in there. Not that it really matters. I do have a tape measure here. It's about just under 3 3/4 inches, or 95 millimeters. Out direction. Out a little bit. Going the other way. Looks like it's about 1 inch and, would that be 5/8? Or about 40, maybe 1 or 2 millimeters. And thickness is going to be hard to gauge. Maybe 4 or 5 millimeters there. Sorry, probably going to be hard to see it. Anyway, guess if it's a little bit bigger, could probably grind this down. and just glue it in like this one is. It's not the keypad on this side, it's the back of the case, so just be careful, but as long as it's not too thick, because then it would, it's probably why they added this little standoff. It's just foam, because the other one didn't have that over here to prevent the battery from falling down on the board.